Experience with your host, Nick Best and the Angry Dad. Like I said, we're going to be going live for the majority for basically all of these podcast episodes, and then they'll just come out later for those who are not part of the Patreon. So they'll just basically get it the day after. And for those who are tuned in, just by being part of the Patreon, you can actually communicate with us through the comments in the video for those. So, those who get that link first, comment, ask us questions, and guess what? Nick will answer them. We'll go through them. We'll discuss them. We'll even cover topics and stuff like that. There's also a chat page in the Patreon where you guys can actually ask questions, request topics, and stuff like that. So, there's quite a bit to offer in the Patreon for those who join. We really appreciate it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff we're getting ready to do. We're kicking off. The Patreon's got a page where you can get some things like t-shirts and autographed pictures, stuff like that, stickers, all that stuff will be coming. And then we also, at some point down the line, we'll be offering some programming as well as individual programming, but that will, like me programming individually for people, will be a case-by-case basis. And it will be very sports specific for that person.
Exactly.
So there won't be very many of those. We're probably only going to open 5 to start with. So the first 5 will get in, and after that, we'll just have a waiting list. But
exactly, and on that waiting list too, it'll always be first come, first serve, and for those who can take. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and eventually we'll increase that probably to 10, and then we'll see how that goes on how my time goes, because I don't want to overcommit to people. I want to give people, I want to teach them. I don't just want to program you and stuff like that. I want to teach you that way. I want to teach you not to need me.
That's
what I want to teach you. I want to teach you a lot of the stuff I know, my philosophies on things, how I do things, and why I do things to a certain degree. And why it's been effective for me over all these years, and why I've been able to last as long as I have in two different strength sports, and like high school, junior midget, high school, and college football. So I made it all the way through all that as well, on top of the powerlifting and on top of the strongman. So.
And that's exactly it. Like that, you have a wealth of knowledge that people can literally learn from. You know what I'm saying? This is something that literally needs to be put into a book. You know what I'm saying? If your philosophies, your teachings, you know what I'm saying? How long for the reasons you've lasted this long, and the techniques and the lessons and just the skill that you've honed over the years, because that's what a lot of people want to know. Like, not very many people have a long career like you have had, even though you started late in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Technically, I started late in the game.
Yeah.
But technically, I started powerlifting and competing in powerlifting in 1985.
Yep.
So and then I started playing football. Geez, probably 1980 maybe.
Here we go.
Back that far. So maybe even probably 1980ish, maybe 79. Back then, so it's been doing it a while, and you learn a lot of things in those years on how to heal and how to keep your body together, and I learned a lot of stuff from heavy duty. I learned a lot of stuff later, conjugate stuff from like some of the West 5 philosophies, but the philosophies not necessarily. There's some of the exercises, not all the exercises, but some of the philosophies work very well. They're just, in my opinion, and you can take it how you want, they're too much. You got to spread it out a little bit. If instead of going like a heavy day and a light day or a speed day, during that week, it'd be a heavy week and a speed week, and then I add in a kind of like a central nervous system week, because we want to train your central nervous system to keep functioning even though you've blown it out. So we'll do stuff like straight in where you you go into something crazy, like maybe like when I was at my best, 1,100-pound block pulls for a set of 10, and then go through the whole rest of your workout after completely blowing out your central nervous system. You learn how to function that way and still get the most out of it. So those are kind of differences between that and the West Side stuff that I do. But I didn't know about the West Side stuff till much later, and then realized I was doing a lot of it. And
Well,
just
and
changed it.
that's the thing. James had talked to you about. It's like he was saying that Nick's been doing conjugate without knowing what conjugate was, and like I said,
for decades.
for decades. You know what I'm saying? But it lets you know that, like, great minds think alike, but
Right.
also too, great minds pave their own path, and that's exactly what you did with the style of training you do. Because, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
always with you for a lot of the stuff that you're doing and
Mhm.
watching, and it's just like, like it even influenced a lot of the way that I train now, even for myself, because like I do things a
Good.
specific way now. Because now, guess what? Hey, if it's doing things for you, it'll do things for me, and that's one of those things that when you could pass the knowledge on. Because like even at this point in your career, that's the one thing that people should be doing. You know what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
is like, for those who are willing to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can get valuable information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, and then I learned a lot of stuff from Ed Cohen, and I learned a lot of stuff from Bull Stewart, and mixed all that with the stuff from Heavy Duty, where you're not trying to do a bazillion sets. You're trying to go 1, 2, maybe 3, but usually 1 or 2 super hard, really just all out sets and move on to the next exercise. In some cases, 1 all out set and then move on to the next exercise. Like when I go and do deadlift for reps, it's 1 set of 20 to 25 reps with 500 when I was on the money. So it's all out. There's nothing left when you get done, and then you move on to the next exercise, and then you group your exercises to work and complement the events that you're doing, or the deadlift, or whatever it is that you're training for. You find assistant exercises to benefit all of those things, and you train things in very different ways than you would as if you're a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders are slow, controlled contractions. You're squeezing the muscle. You're trying to cause hypertrophy. I don't want to. You're going to get bigger anyway. You're going to have hypertrophy. I'm sorry, it's just going to happen. Is it going to be to where you look like a bodybuilder? Maybe, maybe not. But what you are going to get is stronger and faster, and be able to handle tonnage, and be able to walk away from it in one piece. A lot of people will comment how I do like iso rows and stuff like that. And oh, you're using a chest supported row, and I'm using a chest supported row because it's safer. And I'm working speed with super heavy weights. That way, when I rip a sandbag off the ground, or I rip a stone off the ground, or I pick up keg up off the ground, I'm used to picking it up fast and just hauling tail with it, because you get paid by winning, by going faster than other people in strongman. So you got to be ridiculously strong and pretty quick. So it doesn't matter if you can pick up a 300-pound keg and carry it someplace and go pick up another one and carry it back if everybody finishes before you do.
Yep.
The goal is to finish before everyone else. So it's a couple of those little things that make a big difference. And then when you're coaching people, like if I'm going to coach somebody and I go to a contest, I'm coaching one, unless they're best friends, that type of thing. If like they're training together, they're doing everything together. Unless they're best friends, I'm going to coach one person.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're best friends, and they're best friends and they train together, they train together. So I can train both of them at the same time, not have to worry about it. But I'm going to go. The thing is a lot of these trainers, the coaches that show up to coach them, don't know how to compete because they didn't compete. So there's the little things that make massive differences at an elite level. Something as simple as putting liquid chalk on your stomach, and then putting your shirt on, and then putting chalk all over your shirt when you go to do the log will keep the log from slipping down your chest if they don't allow, spray tack or anything else. It'll make a massive, massive difference. And, you end up being able to clean the log and then just press it right overhead. Some of the guys are working with a guy he can pretty much, if he can clean it, he's going to press it. And he had a little small problem cleaning one of his attempts and went in the back and did exactly that. And he was able to clean it and press it like it was nothing when he got it up to his shoulders. So it's little things like that that make a massive difference. Anybody can program.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can, here's all the lists of these things to take, which is kind of stupid because, I mean, you abuse anything, you're going to greatly shorten your career. So, I mean, that's not what a sign of a good coach. It's not. It's getting people to do it as healthy as possible, most efficiently as possible, and then knowing at the competition how to adjust and work the events to be successful at them. You get guys like with these tacky problems people have been having all the time, and they'll bring 2 different types of tacky, or now sometimes 3. Bring 7 or 8, not 1 or 2. Bring like 7 or 8. So any weather that shows up, you're going to be able to stick to the stone. And then the other thing you got to realize is a lot of these guys put a boatload of tacky on and they go out to do it, and they turn the stone into a slippery grease ball. They've put so much of the tacky that doesn't work on. They go out and everybody's just slipping and sliding on the thing. Well, you can do one of two options. Go put good tacky on and go do the lighter stone and get a rep in, and then go pie the greased one and go to the heavier one and put good tacky on it again. Take your time and get one and beat everybody that just messed up the grease stone. It's just simple stuff, but it's things that really need to be looked at. And even if they come out and they like do stuff where they'll spray a stone or they'll clean it or whatever, you get to mess with it before you go. So make sure it's right. Make sure you're sticking to the stone before you go. Make sure they have it right.
Yeah.
Stop
Make sure you
them.
re-tack it.
Like, no, wait a minute. You just sprayed this and now this is slippery. You need to fix this before we start.
Yep.
You need to fix this. And take your time and just sit there and wait for him to fix it. Don't be rushed.
Yeah, don't feel pressure.
Don't feel pressure. Just have him fix it, because that's the difference between you scoring, 14 points and you scoring 3 or getting a 0. And that's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. So it's little things like that will make a very big difference piled up over at events, and that'll be the difference between 1st and 4th place. It's just like that. And then, making sure you have your head right when you're going into things, but you're not so keyed up and like nervous and excited that you can't function efficiently. The goal when you get out there to compete is to function. You want to go out there and get after it. Like, there is no holding back, but you want to, how did my football coach play with controlled, reckless abandon is what my old football coach used to say. You play with controlled, reckless abandon. It's the same thing in strongman. You go out there with controlled, reckless abandon. You need to go out there and let it fly, but it has to be controlled. And, getting super excited because everything's on the line on the last event, and you start kind of like, you got to stay calm. You got to stay focused. And if you stay focused on what you got to do, and you envision in your head before you go 3 or 4 times what each thing's going to look like as you're picking up something and flying down and dropping it and walking over to the next event as quick as you can, and then just bouncing and going up to the next and the next and the next, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Just focus on each individual piece of that you got to go through, and you'll get through it, and you'll get through it quick. Yeah. Smooth is fast.
Very fast.
Smooth is fast. You watch Hooper do things. When he picks up a yoke, he's smooth. He's real smooth with the yoke. That's why he's so fast. He's quick and he's smooth. Makes a big difference. But he's not rushed.
Well, and that's the thing too. He's very methodical, and just like you're saying, you got to have a certain amount of control. You got to have a certain amount of push. You got to have a certain amount of willingness to just lay it on the line when it's ready to lay it all on the line. That's one of those things too that you see, because people do go all out, but sometimes they go too far.
Big time. There's a lot of people that do that. like, and you don't want to go too far. What you want to do is go right up to the edge. You want to run the knife's edge,
Yeah.
and just err on the side of, um, not quite going over the edge. Err on the safe side, just a little bit. And at the end of the day, that'll make the difference. If you lose a quarter of a second, that's fine. Maybe gaining a second and a quarter, and yet if you mess it up, you're going to lose 4 or 5 seconds. Isn't worth it. So it's finding that balancing line and knowing what you're going after as you're going, and having your head right and rehearsing it in your head, visualizing what you're about to do, and going in with an attitude like, I'm doing this, and I'm going to do this with focus. I'm going to go with controlled, reckless abandon. I'm not going to lose my mind. I'm going to focus like a laser beam instead of a shotgun. You'll see a lot of people come into things and they get so fired up and so excited and everything else. It's like a shotgun blast going off, and the energy goes everywhere. We want to control it to be like almost like a laser beam, or to be like a 50 cal going off, just strong and hard and going straight as fast as you can go. All that energy is going into one focal point. That's how you want to get your head before you go do these events, whether it's the yoke, it's the deadlift, whatever. You don't want your energy going all over the place. You want to go in directly into what you're about to do, and that's it. That's the only place your energy goes. Your thoughts, you clear your mind, you don't think, you just execute. That's another thing. Don't think, execute. Execute what you did in training. Execute your practice. Execute the game changes that you have to come up with. You have to be able to adjust things on the fly when you do sports like strongman, or pretty much any sport. Football, guy, how many offensive linemen, they come in with a blitz and you got to adjust to that blitz? How many times does that happen? Every freaking game. So it's being able to adjust on the fly and still being able to put all your force going in one direction. How you do that? By not panicking and focusing on what you're doing.
It's almost
So,
like a style of meditation. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
You're just,
exactly.
you're putting yourself in that position, that mindset, almost that flow state that,
Yeah.
all athletes talk about. But with strongman, it's like a whole other aspect, because you know what I'm saying? It's you and
Powerlifting
only
too.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
powerlifting too. I mean, you step out the squat bar, it's on your back, and you got to focus on what you're doing, and you got to get to where you got to be, and then you explode out of the hole. You control it on the way down, and then explode out of the hole. You don't want to waste a whole bunch of energy. A lot of guys will go down like super fast. There's people that can get away with that. I'm not one of them. But there are people who can get. I've always been one where I kind of think about it like loading a spring. I go down nice and controlled, nice and easy. Just keep tightening it up, get in there, and then as soon as I get where I got to be, it just explode out of the hole. And yet put the brakes on towards the top so you don't lose your balance at the top of the squat. So it's just playing with controlled, reckless abandon that makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, and going through just that whole talk, what I'm saying, it's letting you know like how much it actually takes to push yourself
Hmm.
to that level. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
the thing too, is like, one of the aspects that you even see too is like, with the strongest man on earth, Tom,
Mhm.
basically, yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember us kind of talking about, we maybe blew a blood vessel in his bicep or his tricep,
Yeah, both.
and yeah,
His arm. Let's just
yeah,
say
in
his arm,
his
because the
arm.
whole thing was black and blue.
Exactly. And with it being black and blue, it's like, do you keep pushing forward knowing that you have this injury, or it doesn't hurt, it's only changing color? What do and
Mhm.
it's one of those things that, do you keep pushing forward, you keep going? Cuz I know how many times you said, like when you're at world strongest man and you've competed and you've hurt yourself, you need to still go out there. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying? It's one of those things, it
it's the
still
Super Bowl.
cements
You
you in
got
there.
it's the Super Bowl. You got to go out and just let it fly. I mean, you never know when you're going to get back there again. It's the same thing with the TV show when we did that. I skipped worlds that year. I skipped trying to qualify. I skipped everything. I just focused on trying to have my body prepared for that show and the events that were coming up the
Yeah.
next week. And, it was worth it to me because that's always there now. Everybody will be able to watch that. I'll be 90 years old and people will still be able to watch it. It's never going to change. So it's kind of one of those things where if you get a chance to go to Worlds, you go to Worlds.
Yep.
I've seen guys like get a small injury or, oh, this is kind of bothering me. And, they're like, well, and they pull out. And it's like, but you've never even competed in World's Strongest Man yet. You're qualified. You're here. You got on a plane and came. If you don't go do the contest, history will not show you as a World's Strongest Man competitor.
Yep.
You're a strongman competitor, but not a World's Strongest Man competitor. It's the same for any show. The Strongest Man on Earth, the Road Classic, the Arnold. It's the same thing. It's game day. You go out and do it. Period. As best you can. You don't want to get hurt any worse. So get with your doctor and figure that out. But if you're there and you got a sore bicep that may be partially torn and you can't hurt it any worse, history is going to show you you're a World's Strongest Man competitor.
Yep.
It's always going to be there. It's never going anywhere. Just like no matter what, for the rest of Evan Singleton's life, no matter what, he will be the strongest man on earth in 2025. No one's ever going to be able to take that away from him.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing about when you win something, just like Eddie Hall will always be the 2017 World's Strongest Man. Brian Shaw will always be a 4-time World's Strongest Man and the strongest man on earth. And the Arnold Classic strongman champion. Once you get it, nobody can ever take it away. So if you have an opportunity to get there and show that you were a World's Strongest Man, only 30 guys get to do that a year. I think it's down to 25 now.
Yeah.
That's it. On the whole entire planet, out of the 8 billion people that are walking around, 25 earn the right to go in there and do that. You'll always, if you have an opportunity to be part of history, you always take that. Always
take that.
So
always, yeah. See, and like I said, I've heard you say it numerous times because you've had conversations with people and they let it slip through the fingers, and it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
But that's the name of the game, and also too that comes with the experience that you have because
the craziest thing is that was from Magnus Magnuson.
Yeah,
and he was talking to Misha Kuklev because he hurt his arm pretty bad going. I think we were in China, and he hurt his arm pretty bad, and he was going to withdraw because he made it to the finals.
Yeah,
he made it through the qualifying heat, but his arm is really messed up. And Magnus walks over to him. He goes, "You want that to say World's Strongest Man finalist? You'll be in the top 10 in the world no matter what. If you don't do that, you won't be in the top 10."
Yep.
And Misha listened, and he went in and did the best he could. He didn't get hurt any worse, but he went in and did the best he could and made the finals that year, which is pretty cool. It will always show him as a World's Strongest Man finalist for that year.
Exactly.
That's history. It's never going to change.
Set in stone,
Set in stone.
Yeah. And like I said, that's a lot of knowledge that like I said, it's a new generation. It's it's a new batch of young kids that are coming. I say kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm older than them, and Nick's older than me. But
listen, Sonny, can I buy your bench? I need to get a pump before my game of pickleball.
For those who know, you'll watch that video.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
people are like, guys in his 30s. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not in my 30s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've been in my 30s in over 25 years, so yeah. So there's that.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good times. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those things too. Is like even right now, we're still being part of a lot of things going on. So that's always fun. Was it Richmond, Virginia in November?
Yep.
Is it November seminar? So that's something for everyone to keep an eye out for. I'm actually going to put that up in the Patreon too. I'm going to create like a calendar list of events
Nice.
that you'll be at. So at least,
Yeah.
people have updates and stuff like that about like, hey,
Hmm.
we'll be here. This is where, you can be seen, autographs, pictures, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. Because, and then also too, you will in September, man, I was going through my calendar. Unfortunately, I'm going on vacation that week of Chad's show.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to get. I was really looking forward to going too, because I was like hanging out with Chad, Trey, and all them, especially for that
Yeah, me
strongman
too.
show.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool.
But you will be there, and I think that's
Hmm.
the weekend of the 20th of September.
Yep, it is. Hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yep. So I'll be there. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Oh
Sandusky
yeah.
and stuff like that. That's gonna be fun, and I'll be commentating. So I'll be the announcer. So I'll be sitting there reading out the guys' names and talking about them and encouraging them, letting you guys know kind of the pluses and negatives to this event. One of them is gonna be a boat pull.
Oh man, there
That's
you
gonna
go.
be freaking cool.
That's gonna be
That
awesome.
really is gonna be cool.
That's it. Let Chad
So,
know you need that list early.
oh, that's all right. It'll be good.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be a good next few months here. It really is. I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah.
excited about everything. And yet I, still make time to do the little things that are important, make time for the people that are important in your life. Um, you know, Ben's one of my best friends, and not only do we do this, we still call and bounce things off each other and stuff like that. And
Exactly.
then I still have my quiet time where I still try to meditate and get my head set right and do the things necessary to keep moving forwards and to keep being better and keep improving myself. And that's things I want to inspire people to do all the way around. I just want people to be the best you can be. Don't be the best me, be the best you. Because being the best me is, I mean, there's only one me, there's only one you. Be the best you. And you're going to have something that you're better than me at. And that's great. Be the best you. That's the whole goal in life, is just be the best you can absolutely be. And take care of your loved ones and take care of the people that are important to you. And, be kind to people. There's so much in this world that is just brutal and mean, and, be the good person about it. Don't let people hurt you or your loved ones, but always don't get walked over, but be the higher road. Take the higher road, and be the best you. Success is the best form of revenge you can ever have on anybody, is
Yep.
to enjoy your life and live your life to the fullest. And that success will say all it needs to say. You don't have to do anything to get even with anyone or anything
Yep.
else. Just live your life and be successful. And that'll carry everything through everywhere that'll say far more than your words could ever say.
And
Your
that's
actions
true.
at the end of the day will always speak more than your words and things that you say. And that's so, be a person of action. Have good
Exactly.
actions.
Follow
You
through
know,
with what you say. You know what
follow
I'm
through
saying?
with what you say and be a man of your word. But it's the actions that actually speak louder than the words do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So we got that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And even with that too, it's like say you've had so many things going on in life right now. You're getting pulled
Mhm.
in every direction, and
Yeah.
yet you
It's
still
wonderful.
and that's the thing too, is like you're still maintaining your nutrition, you're still maintaining your training, and like I said, it's a cornerstone of who you are. And
Mhm.
that's the thing too, is a lot of people don't understand what that cornerstone is in their life. You know what I'm saying? Something that they can
Right.
lean on themselves, that is
Mhm.
there for them. Everyone has different hobbies, everyone has different
Yeah.
actions. But you know what I'm saying? It's like just understanding just the core foundation of believing in yourself and doing what you want with your life.
Mhm. Yeah. And if you want more from your life, it's not someone else's fault that you're not doing something. It's yours. If your life is bad, change it. It's not going to be something that's instant and overnight. It's not just going to happen like that. It can, but those people are the one in like 200 million. It's very rare. But the slow, methodical changes that lead you to a better place over time, those anyone can do. And those are going to be the ones that last and get you to where you need to be. So if your life's not going well, sit down and think of how you can make it better. If you don't have a good job and you're living in a bad place, okay, cool. What are you willing to sacrifice to do better? Are you willing to sacrifice free time so that you can go to a job, work enough to keep a roof over your head, and then go study at like a trade? Go learn how to weld. You don't have, anybody can weld. Men, women, anyone can weld. It's a very needed skill right now. Go learn how to weld.
Yeah.
Go learn how to be a plumber. The trades now, you can go, be an apprentice. There's things that you can do, and it's going to require some sacrifice. Me getting big and strong didn't happen overnight. I didn't even get like a lot of acclaim or anything else for it until I was about 35 years into it. Let that sink in. I mean, I'd already done a whole bunch of things. I'd already done World's Strongest Man. I'd already, like several times at that point, I'd already won Masters World's Strongest Man, World Powerlifting Champion. But all the things finally started paying off at like 35 years in. But it was what I loved to do. And it was good habits and good things. And you know what? Now I get to do what I love every single day. You can do that too. Anyone else can do that. Anybody can do that. And
exactly.
Find something you like to do. So find something you love to do and try to figure out a way to make a living at it. And if you're in a bad situation, figure out a good way out of it. What are you willing to sacrifice? Because the easy road is doing something, the easy road in the end really isn't going to be that rewarding, to be quite honest with you. It's not. I mean, you get people out there that they'll find get rich quick schemes and stuff like that somebody messes somebody over, then there's all the bad karma from that. There's all kinds of things. But if you go and work one job and then go learn another one that's going to pay you a lot more money when you get out of it, you spend 5 years of your life doing that, just 5. The whole entire rest of your life, the other 60 years of your life will be 1,000 times better. And that at the end of the day is what matters. You can better take care of your loved ones. You can better take care of your wife, your kids, just everybody. And take better care of yourself. And then you'll have a much better self-image of yourself. And you'll have earned it. Nobody gave it to you. You went out and got it. And there's nothing to stop anybody from doing these things. Nothing. Like literally nothing.
Yep.
It's just the sacrifice of doing one job and then spending a little bit of your time doing that. So maybe you don't go out with your friends that much for 5 years. If they're still your friends, they're still going to be your friends.
Yep.
Even after that, because that's what friends are. If you have to see them all the time or they won't talk to you, that's not a friend. That's an acquaintance.
Yep.
That is reliant on you for how they feel. Friends, you cannot. A friend, I got friends. There's a guy named Kenny Adjo. I don't talk to him nearly as much as I should. And Anthony Bach. These guys I've known 30, 40 years. And I can call them on the phone at any given time. And it's like I just talked to them yesterday. The same feeling, the same everything when I talk. Those guys are friends. If I need them, they call, they'll be there. Same. If they need me, all they have to do is call. Yep. I'll drop what I'm doing, go help them. Ben can call me and say, hey, I need this. I'm going to be there in like 2 seconds.
Exactly. Same here.
Right. But if I need to go do something to be successful at something and I'm too busy to talk to them for a while, they don't get upset. They don't turn their back on me because all of a sudden I'm busy trying to better myself and it's not the direction they're going in. They don't do that.
Yep.
That's what a friend is. It's
That's the truth.
It's good stuff. And
It is good stuff.
sacrificing your time to better yourself from a bad situation and will make all the difference in your life. And if you're a single parent, you're going through that. I mean, I was a single parent with my son Dylan for 6 years, and I started working in the beer business. I went from merchandiser to salesman to company trainer to supervisor within a very short time, like 3 years. And then I was a supervisor for one company for 10 years and at the other one for 4. So I went out and worked my tail off, and I did that, and I sacrificed, and I still trained. I still got things like done I needed to. I still spent time with Dylan, but I sacrificed hanging out with a lot of my friends and a lot of other people, and it paid off. So it's something that everyone can do. You just have to be determined enough to do it, and you have to want to do it bad enough.
Yes.
That's the thing. Look at the person in the mirror, because that person in the mirror is the only person that can save you. That person in the mirror can either be the cause of all your problems or the savior of all your problems. It's that simple. You don't have to rely on anyone else to do that. It's just deciding what you want to be and doing that at the end of the day. Because in this day and age, everybody has the ability to do anything. You just got to want to go do it. That's all. And if you start a little behind somebody else, who cares?
Yep.
Who cares where you start? My first bench press was 95 pounds. My best bench press ever was 635. Didn't matter where I started, it mattered where I got to. My best bench press in a competition was 567. So it doesn't matter where you started. It matters where you go. It doesn't matter if it takes you 20 years to get there. Because once you get there, you're going to stay there till you don't want to be there anymore, till you decide you want to do something else. And then it's up to you. You get to pick and choose what you want to do. And that's pretty cool. And that's the freedom that it brings. And that's the big thing. That's having the freedom to enjoy your life. I'm not interested in being a millionaire. If I get to be a millionaire, great. I'm interested in being able to do what I want to do in life and go to the places I want to go and hang out with the people I want to hang out with, like that guy. and enjoy life. If my kids are healthy, and they are, my kids are well educated, and they are, they're both being they're both enjoying their lives and being successful. When you have kids, you raise them. You should raise better people than you were.
And you have, because your kids are great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Callie helped a lot with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So did Rayanne. So, I mean, it starts with you. And you're the role model for them. And do you want them to be that way, or do you want them to be better than you? If you want them to be better than you, and you should, then you sacrifice for them and you teach them. Doesn't mean you cater to every whim they need. They cry, "Oh, I don't have this stereo." Well, guess what?
Exactly.
There's a difference between enabling and teaching and discipline. So, I mean, you don't want to be such a disciplinarian that, you make them feel bad about themselves. But they have to have steady and gentle discipline. They have to have boundaries.
Yeah.
And you set those boundaries. And if they go past the boundaries, they learn repercussions. That's how when they become adults and they disobey the law, that's how they don't get arrested.
Yes. Functional kids of society. You know what I'm saying?
Just ask Tyreek Hill. Here, let me drive 100 miles an hour through a construction zone next to the stadium.
Exactly.
And then get pulled over and have an attitude problem with the police.
Yeah, like
That's
I didn't
bad
do nothing
parenting.
wrong.
That's his parents' fault. if his father was actually a good father to him, he would know he was out of line.
Yep.
He would know that's unacceptable. And his mother the same way. That's bad parenting. The kid was a star and they didn't keep him grounded. I can tell you whose parent. I can tell you I know some very good parents whose kids don't do that. Frank Mir, Frank and Jenny Mir. Bella's outstanding. Cage is outstanding. Ronan's outstanding. They're great kids. They really are. And that's a credit to them. So it's the boundaries that you set for them. It's the love that you give them.
Yep.
And as they grow up, they'll make the right decisions. They may make some mistakes. And that's the thing. You'd be like, okay, well, we did this that way. That didn't work. And this is why I tell you. So let's not do that anymore, okay?
That's it.
And then that's your mulligan. But you teach and learn and love and, and they're not a burden. They're the best things you can ever do.
Exactly.
Because, their success is your success.
That's it.
Their love is your love.
Big time. Big time. I have 4 kids and, Nick's met all my kids. And, like my oldest is living his life, doing his thing. And, he calls me at least twice a month just to check in on me. He's making sure that I'm okay. And I'm like, no, he's doing good himself. You know what I'm saying? Almost all my kids are in college, and they're all just living their lives, doing their thing. My youngest one's getting ready to start football this year, so his first game's going to be this Friday. So I'm going to be out there Friday watching his first game for his JV team. So
nice,
exactly, and it's going to be great too, because just like you said, is all like I knew how I was growing up, and now that all my kids have grown, it's like they are 10 times better people than I ever was, and that's just like how you said, that's exactly what you want. What I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's it.
I know. I couldn't be more proud of mine. Dylan's off doing his thing. 24, he bought a house. He's engaged to be married.
That's it. And for those who are in the Las Vegas area, Dylan, did he already get his real estate business going?
Yeah, he has his real estate business. Yep.
That's it. We need to have him send us or send me his information, and I'll put it in the show notes for those who are living and wanting to buy in Vegas.
Yes, buy or sell in Vegas.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then Jess just started women's lacrosse.
D1
at Austin P in Clarksville, Tennessee.
That's it.
She had her first week of practice and stuff like that, and classes and everything else. I talked to her today, and she's so excited. It was so cute. It really was. And she's just like, I'm sorry I haven't been calling you that much. I go, honey, I played college football, honey. I understand how busy you are. I know what's going on.
Exactly.
So I'm going to call you. You call me, and we'll get a couple minutes here and there, and we'll talk. I understand how busy you are, plus all your friends and all the things that you're doing. So I get it. It's okay. I know you love me, and we're not, we're not going anywhere. So
exactly.
Just reach out and you just call me back when you can, or I'll call you back when I can.
That's it.
So if I'm traveling or doing something, but could be more proud of them. Really couldn't.
Oh yeah, very. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. I'm saying before I start you start crying. I'm saying, Nick, you do get emotional.
I know, I do. It's because I care.
But exactly. But let's switch a little bit into, Nick eats basically the vertical diet style, just with a slight tweak. And, a lot of people always ask, and it'll always be a question. Is like they're like, what do you eat to fuel you? You know what I'm saying? And just give them the basic rundown, because, you live a very simple life with a very simple diet. Because when I stay with you, you know what I'm saying? We don't eat exactly the same, but I don't mind eating the way you do.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I've cut from 3 pounds of red meat a day to 2 pounds of red meat. And then I'll throw another optional protein in there, whether it's a pound of chicken or a pound of salmon or, tuna fish or whatever, like a couple cans of tuna fish or cottage cheese. non-fat cottage cheese, that type of stuff. And then it's all white rice for my carbohydrates. Sometimes there's some potatoes thrown in there because you can have those too, but it's mostly white rice. Chicken stock, put that in there to help with digestion and stuff like that. And then a few of the vegetables thrown in, like bell peppers and carrots and a little bit of spinach, stuff like that. Good eggs, probably 8 eggs a day, which isn't too much. It's not a lot, but it's not a little.
Yeah.
Probably about 8 eggs a day, which the yolks have a lot of benefits to you. They help a lot of stuff in your brain because your brain's mostly cholesterol. So don't forget that.
Yeah, cholesterol is not bad.
No, it is not bad. It also drives all your hormones in your body. So if you have cholesterol that's too low, those won't work right.
That's what a wink.
Yes. So you want to be eating some. You don't want 400, but you don't want to avoid it like the plague. You just don't want to, overdo it. That's all. A little moderation goes a long way. So, and then a busy, active lifestyle, stuff like that keeps that number down naturally anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'll have a little bit of sweets here and there, but not very often. We'll go out when Ben comes to town. We'll go film some videos, and that's when I'll get the majority of like desserts and stuff like that.
You know what I'm saying? Well, try the hot spots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Vegas life.
Yeah. Kind of like the cheese shell tacos, stuff like that. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And would that be something I eat all the time? No, but every once in a while, man, they're delicious. It's a nice cheat thing to maybe eat like once a month or something, but that's not something I'm going to go there and eat all the time.
Exactly.
But picking decent restaurants to go get a decent meal in, like going to hibachi grills and stuff like that, where they make the rice and they mix eggs in with the rice and stuff, and steak and chicken, and if you like the shrimp and stuff, throw that in too. Stuff like eating good, solid food. I try to eat as little processed food as possible. I don't eat a lot of chips.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of other stuff. I really don't. I stick to a very basic diet. I mean, I spice it up with pepper, like cayenne pepper, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, actual seasoning.
Flavors and seasoning, like flavors, stuff like that. But it's not bland food. It's just, and I'll make it a little different every day. Like one day I'll use taco, next day I'll use au jus sauce, the next day I'll throw like non-fat cottage cheese in with it to make it creamy tasting, stuff like that. There's so many different variations that you can do, and yet you still eat food that's like really solidly good for you. It's not processed. Your body assimilates it way better, and you feel better. You feel way better.
And what he's talking about, people, is whole food. You know what I'm saying? People have a misconception of what whole food means. They're like, I got to shop at Whole Foods to store. There's like, no, Whole Foods are single ingredient items. And with those single ingredient items, we're talking about beef, chicken, rice. You know what I'm saying? Like if it has a laundry list of ingredients to make it, then unfortunately that's a whole food. And then, you can also combine whole foods together.
Food,
yeah, exactly. And it, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of paperwork on, like what we're talking about is the closest thing that how Nick eats is the Stan Efferdine style of the vertical diet. And one of the things too I found by eating in that vertical diet, it's definitely helped me with a lot of issues that I've always had, because a lot of people have bloating, they don't feel good, you know what I'm saying, and it's all due to like poor digestion. Yes, you know what I'm saying, and it's all to do to poor digestion, because you're jamming yourself full of food that doesn't burn well.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there's things that you do to gain weight when you want to gain weight. There's things that you do to lose weight. Like losing weight, it's pretty simple. Just eat a little bit less and keep doing all the things that you're doing now. You're going to lose weight. It's not rocket science. Just cut down, like start by cutting down 100 calories a day, then 200 calories a day, then maybe 3. By the time you get to 300 and 400 calories a day that you've cut down, you should be dropping significant amounts of weight.
Exactly.
And then you'll hit a plateau, and then you ride the plateau out.
That's it.
Don't
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying is like when we had left the Strongest Man on Earth, I had told you that I was going to drop down myself because I'm on my weight loss journey. You know, due to health issues, I really need to come down in the weight, and I usually love to stay in the 300-pound range. And when I mean saying 300 plus, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm a pretty tall guy. But
6'5".
yeah. And when I had talked to Nick when I had talked to Nick, I was down to 317 at World. So this is about almost 2 weeks now. I was down 317 when I saw you. Now, when I weighed myself yesterday, 311. So I was telling you, I was wanting to get down to about 10 more pounds. You know what I'm saying? So like it's slowly getting there, but just like how you said, it's bringing down the calories, continuing what you do. You know what I'm saying? And also too, it's like it doesn't have to happen overnight, even though we all want it to.
Yeah, and then there's reasonable expectations when it comes to that as well. At first, you're going to lose weight pretty quick. It's going to come off pretty quick, and then you can like slam right into a wall. The thing is when you slam into that wall, 4 pounds a month is plenty. Because 12 months go by, that's 48 pounds. That's a lot.
Yep.
And if it took you a long time to get that big, losing weight at a slower rate is a good thing. Your body will adapt to it. Your skin adapts to it. Things adapt to it a little bit better, and it ends up being a lot less taxing on your body. Super fast weight loss over short periods of time cause a lot of problems too. You know, internally, it can cause heart problems. There's a lot of stuff it can do if you're pushing that hard and losing weight that fast, because it's going to be a traumatic experience for your body. But slow and methodical, 3 to 4 pounds a month, once you've had an initial good 30, 40 pound weight loss, even 2 pounds a month, you're going to be 24 pounds lighter. You do that 3 years in a row, you're going to be 72 pounds lighter. That's a whole different person right there.
Yes.
It's the slow and methodical stuff. It's building things over time. When we get in a rush and we try to build too fast or shrink too fast, there's always going to be consequences to pay. And there's always problems that come with that. So, but if you do it slowly and methodically, you have almost no problems. It's just nice and easy. And you pay attention to the things and you live discipline and you do those same things every day with the same enthusiasm as you did the first day you did it. And as long as you keep doing that, you're going to be successful. But when you go, we're doing this again, go in it with a good attitude.
Yeah.
Every day, just get up and have a good attitude when you get after it. You don't have to be bouncing off the walls. Yay! Yeah. No. A good attitude is just you come in with a positive mindset and you're like, okay, here's what I'm doing. And just go about your stuff. It's just not being, down in the dumps and upset about it all the time. So that's all. You don't have to be like, yay! No.
Yeah.
The highs and lows, this is not good.
Yeah, that is not good.
This
is
over
much
time
better.
is what's good. So just smooth is fast.
There it is.
Smooth out of control, and then you build a little bit at a time. It's same with anything. In strength gains, if you put 100 pounds on your total in powerlifting a year, 100 pounds on your total a year. So say you're totaling 900 pounds. If you put 100 pounds on your total a year for 10 years, that's 1,000 pounds. That's a lot. That gets you up to a 1,900 pound total. That's world class. That's world class. You do that 2 or 3 more years, you're elite world class, and you're probably world champion at that point.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it's just slow and methodical over time, doing the same things and being disciplined about it, and being disciplined about your eating, being disciplined about what you put in your body, and how you spend your time and stuff like that. And sacrificing things doesn't mean it's not a good thing, because the sacrifice leads to, I've got to travel the whole entire planet because of this. That's not a sacrifice to me.
Yeah.
I still got to spend a lot of time with my kids. I still got to do a lot of things. That's not sacrificing. I just decided it was more important to be doing the things I need to do to get me to be able to travel the world and compete in strongman and do those things than it was to be out in a bar drinking or be out in a club, be in a VIP area. Yeah, and watching fools drop, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on bottle service and a VIP table.
Yeah.
When that's stuff you could put it into a house or just your life to make your life easier, your kids' lives easier, stuff like that, instead of looking like a big shot. You're going to be a big shot anyway.
Yep.
That's the thing. Don't worry about it. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you won't have to worry about the impression that you give off. It will just be there and it'll get the attention it deserves. It just takes a little while. Then once you get it, you'll always have it. And that's kind of like, yeah. And that's kind of the thing about life. I mean, it's a good life, but always try to improve, always try to move forwards. You're going to have things that set you back. It's life. It is. Doesn't mean you stop. All it does is mean you recalibrate where you are, and then you find your new best you, and you can try continually every day, try to be better than that for the next day. That's it. It's just about being the best you at the end of the day.
That's it. And with everyone listening, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Nick, take us out of here.
Well, as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon, check out the stuff we got coming. And I appreciate you and love you and can't thank you enough for your support. And as always, train hard, train smart, and be the best you can be. And Ben, thank you for doing this. I love you to death, brother.
I love you too, brother. That's why we do this, because we have a good time and we have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah. Where we'll talk about Raja.